Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I have some dark romance recommendations for you. This is kind of a collab with all of my co-hosts for the dark romance readathon that is happening this weekend. I'm going to give you prompts for each of the bingo boards. So this is the bingo board, and the book Sea of Ruin will actually count for all of those but Mafia. I highly recommend Sea of Ruin. It is a dark historical romance about a woman named Bennett and her polyamorous relationship with two men, and it's truly beautiful. Pam Godwin's writing is unmatched. Just know that there is a lot of trigger warnings in this book, but basically Bennett is looking for this treasure that her father left her with a treasure map, and she ends up getting kidnapped by a pirate hunter who wants to take her back and hang her. So for the first prompt body part, I would recommend Unhinged. This is for the first book in the Necessary Evils series. These are all romances, and they all follow psychopath kids who were raised by their father. He adopted them for all intents and purposes, and he raised them to be vigilantes, to kill bad people. And in this first one, the hero, who is not the psychopath, witnessed the other hero kill his father, and so he finds him in a dark alley and wants to get revenge on him. And the psychopath hero is basically like, listen, your dad's not who you think he is. I don't want to tell you about who he is because I don't want to ruin who you think your dad is, but you're not gonna kill me, so just give up this revenge. And it starts this whole plot of them in a relationship and figuring out all of this trauma and things in the hero's childhood. And it's very good. It's very, very, very sweet. So there's really no angst in the relationship. It's pretty much just them finding and killing people and then fucking and being a cute couple. So definitely lots of body parts. They're cutting people up, they're killing people. So yes. We then have the ever lovely Touch Her and You Die, and of course it would not be me if I did not recommend a Lilith Vincent on this recommendation video. So I have First Comes Blood by Lilith Vincent. This is the first book in the Promised in Blood trilogy. All of the books are out now, so if you end up loving it, you can just marathon the whole series. And this is reverse harem about a girl who on her 18th birthday, she is supposed to be married off to one of these 4 or 5 mafia men by her father, who is the mayor of this town. And the first book is spent her trying to figure out how to get out of this engagement. And some other things go on. The men are fantastic. They're incredibly, incredibly possessive. They're not very nice to her. They're very aggressive and possessive and overbearing, but all of their relationships are just hot and really good. So then for the criminal box, I recommend Wicked Night. So this is a bully romance, and this is about a girl whose father is seemingly a billionaire or a millionaire, and she doesn't really know why, but she just knows that they move around a lot. And they end up moving back to, I think, his hometown or his mom's hometown or her mom's hometown. There's a lot of people there that don't like her, and she doesn't really know why. And so she had a previous night with one of the guys at the school before she ended up leaving, and they didn't know each other. And so she comes back, and the hero knows who she is, and he bullies her for that reason. There is mafia in this. There's a lot of stuff. This could fit for several prompts because the heroine is a complete badass. So I really like it. It's super fun. Their steamy scenes are a little bit on the darker side, but I still recommend it. So then we have Family Rivalry, and for this I'm going to recommend The Devil. This was a wild ride. It is a duet. I haven't finished the duet yet. I ended up giving this one 4 stars, but it could go all the way down to a 1 depending on how the duet ends. But this whole book is a lesson, and you have no idea what the fuck's going on until you get to the end. But this is basically about a girl whose mother just died, and she is living with her stepfather, and she has agoraphobia, and he is gunning to be the mayor for this town. So they are very interested in each other, but they have to keep it on the down low. And she is also talking to someone that she thinks is her stepfather on this like dating app, and you are getting alternating flashbacks from the present to the hero's like a relationship when he was a teenager, and he had a very, very strong, horrible relationship with his brother and his father. They abused him a lot, and so he's constantly vying with his twin brother to like be the better twin or whatever. So again, this is crazy, this is wild, you won't know what the heck is going on, but I would say check it out. So next up, I'm going to recommend, for the public sex, I'm going to recommend Lap of Luxury. Now, this is the second book in this duet, but personally, I liked the second one more than the first one, the couple more, and I think that the second one does a good enough job that you could probably read the second one on its own without having to read the first one. But if that's something that bothers you, they're good stories. Like, they're just like Brianna Hale stories, so of course they're just like automatically better than everybody else's. But this is the story of a guy who kidnaps a woman who he's like kind of obsessed with to get back at his brother, and he keeps her captive, and it is fantastic. They have in the beginning of the book, they have a sex scene in his office, and after they've like murdered someone. So yes. We then have a badass heroine, and for this I would recommend Learn My Lesson. This is a Hades, Meg, and Hercules story, and I liked this. I ended up giving it 3 stars, but Meg is a complete badass. She's fantastic. The premise of this story is Hades is trying to trap Hercules into a bargain, and so he enlists Meg, who is his business partner and like his partner, to seduce Hercules by making it appear as if Meg is being held against her will, and Meg just like gives as good as she gets while being also very vulnerable. She's incredibly intelligent, she knows what she wants, and she is not afraid to like kick back at people, and she's just a fantastic heroine. So for an obsessive hero, I recommend Start a Fire. This is another bully romance. Who's shocked? This is not necessarily a bully in the traditional sense of the word, but the hero is very obsessed with the heroine. So they originally get off on the wrong foot, and then pretty quickly the hero is just all in with the heroine. He's constantly touching her, constantly showing up at her apartment. He's determined to have her. There is some dubious consent in this, but like I'm pretty sure all of these books have dubious consent. This one is just the definition of obsessed hero. This is a girl that is in high school, and she meets this guy who is like part of the popular group, but he's kind of like on the edge, the edgy teen, the edgy bad boy. She catches his eye. She starts working at a skate shop that he goes to, and he is just enamored with her, and he will do whatever he has to do, say whatever he has to say to get her to agree to be with him. And then the last prompt and last recommendation that I have for you is for Mafia, and I'm going to recommend Kingpin's Foxglove, just because I want everybody to read this book. This is basically about a woman who is married to the Chicago, I think it's the Italian Mafia. They're one of their like capos, and in a raid one day from a rival mafia, she ends up getting held captive by that mafia's capo. He's going to like send her off back to her family in Chicago, and she makes a deal that if she can cure one of the sick people in his mafia group, then he will let her go. But unbeknownst to the heroine, the hero is absolutely obsessed with her. He's been obsessed with her for a long time, and he has like no intention of letting her go. This is a very stationary romance. You're pretty much spending the whole time on his farm with his mafia group, and like it's just fantastic. There's horses, there's dogs. He builds her a library, he builds her a laboratory. It's just, he's obsessed with her, and she's very cold and very stoic, and you're definitely seeing her fall into a group of people that really care and come to love her, and that's not ever something that she's had before. So she's getting used to that, but she's also not changing who she is in the process. So those are all of the dark romance recommendations that I have for you. Make sure you comment your thoughts down below on any of the books that I recommended. I would love to hear your thoughts. Other than that, thanks so much for watching. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys in my next one.
My last name fits you better. When I'm with you, there's no pressure. I miss your worn out sweaters. Weather couldn't compromise our love. I spent too much time on us, and I think you